second choice. My former running mate continues to insist that I had the right to
It's so quiet. It's so dead.
But President Trump was wrong then.
Nobody's saying anything.
Now, I had hoped he would come around and see that he had been misled about my role that day.
About my role that day.
I think the American people want to see us get back.
Former disgraceful Vice President Mike Pence announced his political pitch, and on Saturday afternoon at Joni Ernst's Roast and Ride being questioned, Mike Pence was the only presidential candidate that rode on a motorcycle.
But we start 2.5 hours west of Davenport in Des Moines, Iowa, where a handful of 2024 GOP hopefuls were hoping to charm Iowa voters.
Former Vice President Mike Pence, the only one to jump on a motorcycle for the kickoff ride.
This Wednesday, I'm announcing in Iowa.
Ron DeSantis was roaming the parking lot, sharing stories on when he was an Iraqi veteran, while his wife, Casey DeSantis, wore a very hip and cool leather jacket that read on the back, "Where woke goes to die."
How old are you?
Which is true, since leftism and wokeism and the entire LGBTQ whole agenda thing is cancer, triggering all the libtards across social media everywhere. Here is a clip of Mike Pence with Karen Pence on Fox Digital talking about President Trump.
I think the American people want to see us get back to the policies of a strong defense, a secure border, of less taxes, less regulation, more American energy, and conservative appointments to our courts. It's something that Karen and I have aspired to live up to throughout the last 20 years. It's I'm somebody that thinks you can disagree without being disagreeable. People that know me know I take very strong stands. I'm conservative, but I'm not in a bad mood about it. And should we enter the fray in this campaign in the days ahead, we're going to bring those principles, but we're also going to bring a commitment to civility that I think the American people long to see.
Disgraced Mike Pence is publicly shaming President Donald Trump on everything, sharing with Fox Digital that he and Donald Trump disagree on how they want to run the country. Despite Donald Trump being absent at Joni Ernst's Roast and Ride at Iowa, Trump's presence at the Roast and Ride was felt very strongly, as there was tons of MAGA hats and Trump supporters everywhere, and a bunch of stuff that read Trump country. Mike Pence said, quote, "Trump is drifting away from the party's conservative principles," long before Donald Trump was a part of it on birth control. Mike Pence said, "I had no right to overturn the election. I chose the Constitution and I always will. President Trump was wrong, and he is wrong now." Pence said Trump demanded I choose between him or the Constitution, unquote. He also said Trump and Joe Biden are not living up to the American standards and blah, 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 and other things about the Republican Party, and frankly, a lot of moping like a 2-year-old little girl. There's very little debate in anyone who is even considering voting for President Trump at this point. This guy, Mike Pence, is suffering a freaking hemorrhage right now, being less than 4% in the Real Clear Politics average. Donald Trump has an extremely whopping majority in the GOP, leading and dominating the entire political polls across the country. Ron DeSantis is clearly in second place, obviously, with a national average currently in Real Clear Politics with 22.4%. We have a lot of work to do when it comes to the Republican debates. This is a clip from Political. 7 times Pence attacked Trump. Let's go ahead and check out that clip right now.
Now, given our record, it might be fair to ask why I'm challenging my former
January
6th was
boss.
a tragic day in the life of our nation.
Tragic day.
But the American people deserve to know that on that day, President Trump also demanded that I choose between him and the Constitution.
Boo. Boo.
Now voters will
Pence
be faced
sucks.
with the same choice. My former running mate continues to insist that I had
It's
the
so
right to overturn
quiet.
the
It's so
election.
dead.
But President Trump was wrong then.
Nobody's saying anything.
Now, I had hoped he would come around and see that he had been misled about my role that day.
About my role that day.
But that was not to be.
But that was
President
not to
Trump,
be.
he described Vladimir Putin as a genius. I know the difference between a genius and a war criminal.
I know
My
the difference
differences
between
with
a
my former
genius and a
running
war
mate
criminal
and others who are in this field
in this field.
also have to do with the values and policies.
And the values
when
and
Donald Trump ran
policies.
for president in 2016, he promised to govern as a conservative.
He promised to govern as a
Together,
conservative.
we did just that.
We did just that.
But today, he makes no such promise.
Today he makes no such promise.
After leading the most pro-life administration in American history, Donald Trump and others in this race are retreating from the cause of the unborn.
Boo.
The sanctity of life has been our party's calling for a half a century, long before Donald Trump was a part of it. But now he treats it as an inconvenience, even blaming
Oh my
our
God.
election
Get this guy
losses
off the
in
stage.
2022 on overturning Roe v. Wade. You know what President Trump and others are forgetting is that our administration succeeded not because we compromised or abandoned conservative principles, but because we acted on them.
Because we acted on them. Yeah, I'm just going to pause it right there. I think it speaks for itself. The whole entire crowd was like completely dead. Like that was the most unlively crowd I have ever seen. Can you imagine going to a rock show? I really like rock shows. And one of my favorite bands is Nirvana XYZ. And I went to a Bullet for my Valentine's and tons of other concerts. But can you imagine going to a concert and it's that quiet when the lead singer is asking, how's everybody turning up tonight? Yeah, I mean, that was just really bad right there. Really bad. Karoline, Leavitt.
Well, I believe I absolutely won tonight's debate because I think there was a very clear contrast that was drawn. Voters are finally waking up to who Matt Mowers is, a go-along, get-along politician who cannot answer a straight question.
A spokeswoman from Make America Great Again Incorporation, a pro-Trump committee, said, quote, but the question most GOP voters are asking themselves about Pence's candidacy is, quote, why? Disgraced Pence is in fourth place behind President Donald Trump, DeSantis, and Nikki Haley, the former United States ambassador to the United Nations, with less than 4% in the Real Clear Politics average. But beyond the numbers, a Pence comeback would require an epic reversal of political dynamics with the GOP, said a new news reporter on NBC.com. Write a comment. Let me know what you think about Mike Pence's, quote, attacks on Donald Trump. All right. Yeah, there's really nothing to say. It's just crickets. Just like his entire vice presidency and his really, really, really bad speech. Because, you know, Donald Trump is going to mop the floor when it comes to disgraced VP Mike. All right. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.